Hi everyone. So let's do a reading to capture the energy for the weekend ahead. So the intention for this reading is to capture the next 2 days from whenever you're watching this. So if you're watching this as I post it, then it will be the weekend energy. So make that part make sense for you, but this is intended to be for the next 2 days from when you're watching this and hopefully this weekend. So we'll start with a tea leaf, and we pulled nest. And this says an emotionally secure, loving family is important to you. So this could end up being about your family, but let's get a big picture oracle card too, just to see if there is another specific energy that wants to come through before we pull the tarot. So we pulled the clouds. So this means that there is something very confusing going on in your personal life, in your home life, perhaps in your family, something that's not clear, something that you are doubting. This is probably in your inner circle and or your home life because we do have this word family, and nest is about your home and your inner circle, maybe even things that you're working on internally, because I see some eggs here, things that haven't really fully birthed yet in your life, but you are feeling confused, you're feeling doubtful about something. I'm seeing the Knight of Swords at the bottom, and this could be about needing to speak your truth about something. There's the Five of Cups, it could be disappointment. There's that Ten of Pentacles can be about family, and then I'm seeing the Queen of Swords. So this feels like it's going to be some kind of, wow, look at that. We've got the Knight of Swords underneath again. Wow. Okay, so let's see where this is going. So we're starting with the Empress. This could be about something that's growing for you, perhaps in your personal life. Could be a love situation because we have the Two of Cups. Three of Wands, Hierophant. Underneath, we have that Knight of Swords, Four of Swords, the World, which I'm going to flip over, Page of Wands. Underneath everything is the Wheel of Fortune. So this Wheel of Fortune underneath is telling me not to hurry when it comes to something, that this is going to happen when it's meant to happen. This wheel often indicates things that we want to happen, that we're in a hurry for it to happen right now. But yet this wheel is saying there's no need to do that because the universe is on it. The timing is being dictated by the universe. And that this wheel is saying, don't rush this. This Knight of Swords is telling you that things are rushing or that perhaps you want to rush something. But this is saying to just pause and let the universal timing take over. This is even a time for you to just stop and enjoy probably the things that you already have, things that are right in front of you. So whatever this is that's going on around you that's causing you confusion, this wheel is telling me that in time, in the right timing, you will be able to understand what's going on. So I think that you are being asked to focus again with this Empress about things that are growing. I'm seeing the Empress, I'm seeing the eggs. So it feels like there's something growing for you that perhaps you're getting impatient about. So if you've started a new project, if you're in the middle of a confusing relationship, if you're confused about next steps on your spiritual journey, whatever this is for you, make that part make sense for you. But there's something growing here, but you're not seeing the results perhaps, or perhaps you're just getting impatient because this Wheel of Fortune keeps telling me that perhaps you are being impatient. It does look like, though, this Knight of Swords energy keeps popping out, and the Queen of Swords wanted to pop out too. So it does feel like there is something you can speak up about. So if this is a relationship where you're confused, this is saying speak to that person. If you want to expand a project that you're working on or expand a spiritual journey that you're working on, this is saying to go and ask questions. Go find your truth or stand up and speak for yourself and try to figure out, regardless of how you feel you're going to be perceived by other people, it's important to really speak up and use your voice. I think that You are probably avoiding a conversation with someone, which is probably why this swords energy keeps coming out. If this is a love relationship, which I think for many of you, that's what we're talking about, because we say a loving family, confusion, and then we see these 2 cups. So I feel like there is a person in your energy who maybe you have had some harsh words with. Maybe their actions are confusing. Maybe you're avoiding each other altogether. Because I do see this 4 of Swords, which means perhaps the 2 of you have been put on a break, that perhaps you're avoiding each other. You're not speaking up about what you're meant to speak up about. But it feels like this weekend there's going to be an opportunity for you to speak to this person. And when you see that opportunity, to commit to it. And I can see that that's going to be a challenge for you, because the 2 of Cups and the 4 of Swords are in your challenge position. So this is saying don't avoid the hard conversations. Have those conversations this weekend. And I saw 555 as I said that. So this is about having difficult conversations, even if you're confused, even if you have doubt, because you can't see what's happening. You can't get your answers. You can't get your clarity unless you're speaking up. And that may be the thing that's needed to move the wheel, is that for you to be able to speak up and voice your own needs. Your voice matters. What you have to say needs to be heard. That's coming through really clearly. So another message that's coming through is healing, because the 2 of Cups and the 4 of Swords can be about a healing relationship, or a relationship that needs healing. And so this is also giving me this idea that it needs time. And you could, again, be trying to rush to the end of this relationship or rush to fix things. But healing always just takes time. Healing takes its own time. The 3 of Wands and the World is again asking you that patience is going to pay off, because the 3 of Wands is about being patient. It's about understanding perspective, keeping your eye on the ball, so to speak, on the prize, so to speak, that you know there's something coming. It's not here now. It might be really confusing. There may have been harsh words spoken, or words that need to be spoken. But as long as you keep your eye on that horizon and know that this is coming, that patience, that happiness, knowing that you're going to be better off if you're just patient, that's the thing that's going to cause this completion for you, this successful completion, because the World is an extraordinarily successful completion. It's knowing that you've wrapped everything up, you've crossed all your T's, you've dotted all your I's, you've learned all the lessons. So I think that there are 2 things coming through here as far as the lesson for you. 1 is to use your voice, and 2 is to just remain patient. But always know to speak up for yourself. Always know that your voice matters. If you feel like you are unheard, the challenge for you this weekend is going to be to go to that person and say, look, this is how I need you to hear me. This is what I need from you. And then patiently wait and see what happens next. It's very clear, this energy right now. The advice that's coming through here, we're getting the Hierophant and the Page of Wands. There's a person in your energy, and I'm sure it's this other person, this other half of your 2 of Cups. They're showing up as a Page of Wands. So a Page of Wands can sometimes be, well, especially when I see the Knight of Swords and the Page of Wands together, these are 2 people that argue when put in the same spread together. If I see these 2 cards, I know there's been an argument. So I feel like that's the thing. But with the Hierophant here, it's asking you to get balance, get peace, get harmony, understand the friendship or the love that exists between the 2 of you, and try to see that from a different perspective. To really try to rise above thinking that, oh, we had this fight, so it's over, or this person isn't showing up for me the way I need them to, so it's over. This is asking you to really tap into a spiritual wisdom that you do possess, because you're showing up as a Hierophant, and really using that energy to see this situation from a higher perspective. And that includes speaking up for yourself, but not in an argumentative way, but in a respectful, this is my voice and I need it to be heard way. And then also having the patience to allow this situation to heal. So let's get a few more tarot cards to see if there are other energies that would like to speak up. Speaking of. So the Empress and the Knight of Swords is with the Eight of Swords. This is about overcoming fears. This is about feeling like you're trapped in a situation because there was an argument, or you're feeling like it's never going to change and just you want it to change now. So let's just break up forever. That's a random example, but that's what's coming through. And then you're not seeing this clearly with these clouds cards. You're not seeing the situation clearly, that this can be healed, but it's your healing too that needs to be addressed, and that your healing of your throat chakra probably, because I see that there's a need for you to speak up for yourself, and that there's a fear of that. You have this fear with the Eight of Swords of not feeling safe to express what you want to say. It's thinking that your voice doesn't matter. And then also being patient with the situation and hanging in there. Those are the two components of your healing. The Two of Cups and the Four of Swords is coming in with the Seven of Rings. This is about investing. This is about staying diligent to a situation, even when you can't see the progress. That's what we were saying with the Empress and these eggs, is that you feel like it's never going to come. You don't see any progress. And that's what the Seven of Rings or the Seven of Pentacles represents. It represents hanging in there even when you can't see the results of your labor. It's almost harvest time. The Three of Wands is telling us that. So this would be a really non-fortuitous time for you to give up on this situation and to stay diligent in your healing, because that's coming right over the Four of Swords. The Three of Wands in the World is with the Tower. So this is about disruption. This is about conflict. So it's obvious that there was a conflict between the two of you. At this point, it's obvious to me that there was a huge disruption in the peace and the harmony of this situation. But now this is saying, just stay patient with it. And that's your key to leveling up. That's your key to a successful completion, one way or the other. This Page of Wands and the Hierophant too, I think it's just more messages of just remembering the friendship that you have with each other. I'm really getting that. I think I've already said that, but remembering the love that you have in the first place is really key to this, to getting through this weekend and the conflict that's happening. And then finally, the Hierophant and the Page of Wands is with the Nine of Cups. This is about contentment. This is about satisfaction. So again, this is about finding that balance and remembering your friendship in the first place, which is what we've really already said, that there is a need to remember why you're together and what that is. I'm being compelled to, okay, there's a Nine of Pentacles underneath. And this is about abundance, but it's also about fortitude. It's about hanging in there. It's about reaping the rewards of the Seven of Pentacles, because you stayed long enough. Now you can reap your Nine Pentacles because you lived through the conflict, maybe even the contract, if this is probably a soul contract, if that applies to you. But you've lived through this conflict. You had to, it helped you to grow with the Empress and the Nest. Certainly this was about your own character growth, your own spiritual growth, learning to speak up for yourself, having the patience to maintain your dignity through it, doing the healing, and then whatever happens in the relationship is going to come to a nice, complete ending as far as your contentment and your satisfaction. So whether that is an ending to the relationship or an ending to just the conflict, either way, you're going to be happy. But right now, just be patient and see what that is. Don't make any major moves other than speaking up for yourself in a respectful way. So wow, so that is your weekend energy reading. Will you please let me know how this was resonant for you? Consider subscribing to the channel if you like my vibe, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks everybody, bye.